are back in the South Upper Hall outside the Ericsson booth. The 2012 NAB show is still abuzz with activity. Broadcasters are visiting booths, checking out the latest products and services that are debuting here at NAB. I'm your host, Daisy Whitney, and this is NAB Show Live. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, April 18th, and we have a great show for you today. I will be joined on the set by Giles Wilson from Ericsson later in the show. And we also have some terrific reports from our field crews, as well as in-depth coverage from all of the sessions, panels, and keynotes. We're going to bring you the best of that here in our daily highlights, starting with radio star Donny Osmond.
That's the sign of a great director. He leads you to a point and let you take it the rest of the way. That's why Hitchcock was such an amazing director and so revered. You never really saw everything that you really saw in your mind. They lead you to a point and your imagination takes it way beyond what any visual can give you. Radio does that. Radio will always do that. And radio permeates every work in the workforce, in your car, at home, on your smartphone, on your computer. Radio is not a dying media. It is so important.
I think we all need to think much broader about what television is. I don't think television any longer is just that 55-inch flat screen that's sold at Best Buy or sold at Costco or sold around town. We now think of television more as the content. We think of television as episodic storytelling, professionally produced episodic storytelling that's of a certain quality and caliber, and that content's now being consumed not only on those 55-inch flat screens, but also on iPads, on cell phones, on all forms of platforms at this point in time.
I'm as surprised as anybody that we're going to get the Running Wild cast and crew together.
It was a side deal.
And to do a claymation version seems, I know it's cutting corners.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds really interesting.
Ted told us that Starz had spent something like $15 million on billboards for Spartacus, and 7 or 8%, I don't know if I'm correct, like 7 or 8% of the people watch the show because of that. But then the people that watch Gladiator said, if you like this, watch Starz. It was something like 98% of the people watched it. So any of,
I made that up.
You made that up. Well, whether you made it up or not, it worked. I love the idea that all the episodes, boom, are right there at once.
Because recording stuff in the natural world is an amazing thing to do, by the way, when you listen to it later. But needless to say, that was the genesis of the sound of these Tracker Jackers, was the sound of these bicycle tires, which later, when we went to record them and actually work on the sound, we used different tread depths of different types of tire wheels, and then also realized, well, just the steady sound of them on the rollers wasn't really going to deal with everything, because we have a lot of scenes where you have the little bugs flying in, then they fly out, they fly in, they attack her, they do all kinds of stuff. So we started to play around with, again, some very low-tech stuff, like what's sitting around here? Oh, there's this NAB badge here. I'll just put this on the tire, and go zzz, like that. And sure enough, it made an amazing sound of this buzzing that would go away from the mic or go towards the mic or something like that.
So think about everything being recorded. Everything you buy, every meal you order, every restaurant you visit, the time you have your sprinkler set to turn on, when you last went to the dentist. And imagine if it were all recorded, again, for your own use. After all, it is your data. Every song you download and how many times you listen to it, every person you meet, everything your body does, every time your heart beats, every word you say, every breath you take, everything your eye treks to and your physiological response to it, everything. Imagine if it was all recorded, a true, actual digital echo of your life. Love it or hate it, this is the inevitable direction technology is heading.
Now, the Tracker Jackers were pretty cool, but I'm not so sure I want my visits to the dentist recorded. Of course, cameras always get so much attention at NAB, and rightfully so. but good audio is essential to any successful video production, and that's why our tech expert Ko Maruyama started off his coverage today with a visit to the Sennheiser booth.
Hey, Ko Maruyama here at the Sennheiser booth, where you can hear the future of sound technology right now.
Well, you know, one of the great things about coming to the Sennheiser booth is there's not a Sennheiser store per se, so we can actually show our wares and get everything in one spot so we can walk our customer through our comprehensive line. One of the products that we're really excited about is the Neumann KK204 and 205 capsules. It's that Neumann sound for the Sennheiser 2000 series, really opens up that quality for a different level of customer, and it's something you see on Dancing with the Stars and American Idol and all these things, and now you can get it for your 2000 series.
Here at NAB Show, where can people find you?
Well, Sennheiser's always in the Pro Audio Pavilion. We're in the Central Hall at C2632. Online, we're at www.sennheiserusa.com.
Now let's head over to Autodesk, where they've got some new announcements of their own.
It seems like the whole industry is excited about smoke. Our booth has been packed all day. We've redesigned it from the ground up to do something that editors have never had before, which is the power of our high-end visual effects tool set, but integrated into a nonlinear editing timeline workflow. It's blowing people away. That's the big news. The other news is that we've actually changed the price of smoke. So not only did we make this amazing new product, we're making it available for just under $3,500.
Now there are a lot of new tools inside of Smoke for Mac that really going to allow editors to change the way they tell their story.
I would say the one thing that really makes a difference is not so much a tool, but it's a workflow, and it's called Connect Effects. And what Connect Effects is node-based compositing inside the timeline. Editors can have sort of the comfort of the timeline, they can start building effects, but they can instantly launch into that. When they're done, it's still back in the timeline. You know, that was really our goal. Like, we wanted to say, you know, how do editors work? How can we give them more capability, but not, you know, force them into a different comfort zone that's really going to break their creative workflow.
Another great reason to be here at the NAB Show in Vegas. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
We're here at NAB Show with Wacom Technologies. Joe, what do we have this year at Wacom that's going to really help artists define their image better than ever before?
Well, we've got a few new things this year. We got the Intuos 5, which is, you know, our premier pen tablet. This tablet to me is the ultimate mouse killer. I'm loving the tablet because now we have a natural transition from pen to interaction with the tablet, just using your hand, getting the mouse out of the equation altogether. And all of the tablets now can go wireless, which is a huge step forward.
Wacom created a brand new Cintiq tablet, a screen that lets you work with a stylus directly on the video image. Now, this was unique for a few reasons.
Right, the new Cintiq. I mean, we've been doing pen displays for a long time, but we've never really hit this market hard because we didn't have a true HD display. So now we have a 16:10 true, better than 1080p display, absolutely fantastic color, big, huge workspace. I mean, it becomes your desktop, but you can do anything in your video editing, your photo editing, name it. It's a fantastic device.
So where can people find you here at NAB?
We're in the South Hall, lower 2809.
And online?
Online at Wacom.com.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ko. Great stuff there for graphic artists and editors, and of course, for anyone in video production. And now I'm joined by Giles Wilson outside the Ericsson booth. Thank you for being on our show, Giles.
You're welcome. It's good to be here.
Now, Ericsson is a big company that does a lot of things. Give us an overview of some of the areas that Ericsson is focused on.
Well, I think Ericsson's primary focus and what we're best known for is mobile networks. We deliver most of the world's mobile network infrastructure, so I think that's the main thing we're known for. I guess a little bit less known is we actually operate a lot of the mobile networks for the mobile carriers, and I guess if you totaled up the number of people around the world who are getting network service off Ericsson on those networks, we'd be one of the biggest mobile operators in the world. Perhaps we're a little bit less known for what we do in the TV space, but we are one of the largest suppliers in the TV space, which is why we're here at NAB this year.
And you also have increased your presence at NAB. Tell us a little bit about that and what you're hoping to accomplish.
Well, you know, it's an important show for us, and I think there's two main things. You know, the first is the quality of the customers that we meet here. You've got all of the largest customers from across the globe. It's a very international show now, so just the opportunity to have meetings with those customers and also to show them the entire scope of what we're doing in the TV space. We're showing everything from satellite news gathering right through to consumer experience and multi-screen. So it's good to get that opportunity to show them the entire value that we can bring them.
Okay, let's dive into the TV side a little bit more,
Sure.
if you will. So if I were going to visit your booth, what would be some of the things that I would see that you're doing in TV? What are you showing the broadcasters who come by?
Well, we've got a big focus on multi-screen at the minute, so that's giving a consumer experience across multiple devices. So everything from traditional TV sets through set-top boxes, but also tablets, laptops, and really we've done a lot of consumer research in that area to see what it is that people want. We think it'll be the default way of delivering TV in the future. And we're really working hard in the background to produce solutions for the operators that allow them to deliver a very compelling user experience that's blended across all those devices at the same time.
Now, you mentioned consumer research, and
Sure.
research is an area that fascinates me because I think that's where we really learn about what's going to happen next. What have you learned about consumers that has surprised you or has maybe helped you change course?
Well, one of the really interesting things that we find in our main consumer research report this year was, over previous years we've been seeing a shift of viewing away from linear TV, live TV, towards on-demand consumption. And we saw a little bit of a swing back onto linear TV this year. So we really dug into that a little bit with the consumers, and what we found out was it was actually the effect of social networks were having on TV. People were telling us, you can't get through the day anymore without knowing the result of the game because it's on your Twitter feed, it's on your Facebook status. So really the impact of mobile web and social networking that it's having on how people watch TV and driving them back to traditional linear TV again.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I will often see on my Twitter feed someone saying, I have to get off Twitter now because I don't want to see any
Sure.
spoilers. So it's just amazing how this new technology that enables consumer interaction can change and sort of send us back to the ways that we used to do things.
Absolutely, and it's very interesting as well. I mean, people sometimes talk about multi-screen and they think it's about just delivering video to multiple devices. It's actually much more about that. It's about blending those user experiences together. It is about integrating your social life with the TV viewing experience, using devices just for control and for search and discovery. So it's really about blending a lot of services together around video to give a compelling experience.
Now, you talk about blending user experiences. How do you envision consumers watching TV, sharing TV? I mean, sort of what's the ideal of what they're doing across different devices throughout the day?
One of the things that comes out really clearly when you look at it is people use devices in different ways and for different things. People still want to sit in a social environment in the main room with a large TV screen, and they keep getting larger. But they also, actually what we often see is people watching multiple programs at the same time with a tablet. The concept of having a tablet at the same time as you're watching TV and using it is very prevalent. When you get down to mobile devices, it's a little bit different. Strange for somebody from a mobile company to be saying, but people watch TV on a mobile device when they got no other way to watch TV, and that's what we find on those devices. But it's absolutely incredible the amount of video traffic that you now have across all these devices and all the networks. We're seeing a huge acceleration in the amount of traffic on mobile networks and fixed line networks that is video. So one of the big challenges that we're taking up is how do you optimize that delivery and make it cost effective for the operators and a good experience for the users.
Because that really is something that's significant, in a significant change amongst
Sure.
consumers. I mean, we all have phones with us all the time. We're looking at videos on YouTube or Hulu or whatever it is, and we're checking it out on our phones. So what do you have to do differently in your business to start to accommodate that? Because we're seeing rapid growth.
Yeah. Well, if you were talking to me 2-3 years ago, we'd be talking about mobile TV, maybe IPTV, satellite TV, and over the top. And those would be different vertical solutions that the operator had to deploy. That's not enough anymore. You need to build technologies that are actually a single infrastructure that allow you to deliver to all those devices in a coordinated way across all the networks at the same time. And people forget that devices are no longer tied to networks. As soon as I walk into my home, my smartphone switches immediately from the mobile network onto the Wi-Fi. I don't want my user experience to change. I want to be accessing the same thing off those networks.
Giles, I have a final question for you. You travel a lot. Where do you watch TV?
I watch TV pretty much everywhere. Mostly I watch TV in hotel rooms. Right?
Good answer. And now we are going to go to our Nerd Locker team for their final report, and they have a very special guest.
Hey there, show goers. This is Jasmine from nerdlocker.com on day one of NAB show with Dan from Kid Digital. Marvel in his beauty. He's going to tell us a little bit about Kid Digital and why they're here.
This is the maiden voyage of this stand.
Very
it's
beautiful.
The double decker you can see. But
lots of stairs.
What we're really here to do is to talk about how broadcast TV and traditional network operators are sort of transforming their business and now offering multi-screen over-the-top video experiences. And that's really what we do. We provide all of that technology that allows them to do that.
I hear you have a very special guest here.
We do. So we had a really interesting meeting a few months ago with none other than Evander Holyfield, five-time world heavyweight champion.
So I take it I get to take a shot at him at some point during the week?
Well, actually you can, but there is a little bit of a prerequisite, which is that you have to come with these guys on. So
I'll have a nightgown
and these?
and those.
You ready? All right.
Hey there, everybody. Jasmine from nerdlocker.com here at NAB with none other than Evander Holyfield, the legend. And we're here at Kid Digital because Evander has decided to make all of his fights viewable to everyone online. Which fight are you most excited to see?
You know, I guess the first one you would say the White Muhammad Qawi, which was 1986, July the 12th, first title fight. 15-round decision. Lost 15 pounds. Had to go to the hospital, and that fight there is the fight that I had to really make up my mind. Did I ever want to fight again? Because that almost been it. After that fight, it was so tough. I didn't know if I wanted to do it again.
Well, clearly you made the right decision. I'm very glad you stuck around for us.
You're watching NAB Live 2012.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
What's going on, guys? Brandon and Jazz here from Nerd Locker at NAB. And Jazz, what are you doing?
Well, we're here at the Free Fly booth, and this is a CineStar Micro.
Wow.
And Tad is going to tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so this is a CineStar Micro. This is our smallest model. We've got some bigger CineStar models back here that carry digital SLRs all the way up to the Red Epic on that CineStar 8.
So what would these be used for?
This one we built just for fun.
That's always a good
They were at work, and whatever.
So the purpose of this one is you have a monitor on the ground and you fly it by actually looking at the monitor, so it's as if you're in the cockpit of the aircraft. So you're flying it first-person view. You can go explore around and basically just see first-person from the aircraft.
That is pretty
How hard is it to operate one of these, even a little one?
A little one, I think you can learn pretty quickly. I would budget about a year to get proficient at it, where you're trying to execute hand landings at NAB.
You know, I am pretty good at this kind of stuff. I'm good at video games. So you mind if I'm just going to move up to the big one if you don't mind. I think I got
Don't break
this.
that.
Hold on, whoa. That was Jasmine.
All right, you gotta love the toys at NAB. And now our online video expert, Will Richmond from Video News, connected with Bright Cove earlier today to talk about some of the latest developments in web video and TV from Bright Cove. This is a company that has been a leader in online video since the early days.
Will Richmond from Video News here, and joining me in the booth is Eric Awaya, VP of TV Solutions at Bright Cove.
Hi
Welcome,
there,
Eric.
Will. Thanks. Good
Great.
to be here.
Thanks for stopping by. First of all, tell us a little more about Bright Cove. Not that there's anyone out there who hasn't heard of you guys yet, but
Bright Cove is one of the leading online video platforms. Really, we're a company that helps businesses of all sizes manage and distribute their media and make that a core part of their business.
great. And tell us a little more about your role, TV Solutions. What does that mean?
I'm a little bit out on the fringe, the cutting edge. The past year has been pretty interesting. We've seen a lot of changes in the TV business, from TV Everywhere authentication starting to become popularized, paywall and premium content distribution becoming important, and the rise of connected or smart TVs becoming an important part of a distribution strategy. So I'm involved in the strategy and partnerships in those areas.
Okay, great. And you guys have some news here actually at the NAB show, so tell us more about that.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, we've announced two things at the show today. The first thing is what we call a paywall solution framework. And so this is a new set of partnerships that enable companies to roll out premium pay-based video services in a fraction of the time that it used to take to do that sort of thing. Second thing is related, and that's support for Google's Widevine digital rights management software. So DRM software is often required when you are distributing Hollywood studio content, as well as other high-value content. And so we're going to be supporting that end-to-end from the ingestion, encoding, wrapping of that content through the playback and delivery. And I think that's I think it might be a first amongst our peers in the industry. All these things together we think tells a great story, and will help our customers tell their stories and potentially experiment with some new business models.
Well, always a pleasure. Eric,
Always a
thanks
pleasure,
very
Will.
much for stopping
Thank you.
by, and
Appreciate it.
good luck here at the show.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks, Will.
Thanks, Will. There's so much interest and activity in online video, so it's great to hear about these latest developments, especially as online video intersects more with TV. Other growth areas include international distribution, and I spent some time at NAB's Content Theater connecting with media executives about what's working in that area. I'm here with John Pollock at Electus, and we are at the Content Theater. We're going to talk about exciting distribution. John, tell us a little bit about what Electus is doing in the international arena.
Electus is a multi-platform production and distribution studio, producing both domestically and internationally across all genres of content. Internationally, we're selling a lot of our unscripted and scripted content into all platforms worldwide.
Now, international is such a fascinating area to me. I love hearing about the interesting ways that shows are distributed across various platforms, both domestically and internationally at the same time. Give us some examples of how you're doing that.
What's great about Electus is we produce all kind of content. Everything from big scripted series, something which is airing, called Marco Polo, which is airing on Stars, all the way down to our content, which is airing on YouTube. When you're selling internationally, depending on the kind of content you're selling, that's when you sell into different platforms. So Marco Polo, our big scripted series, we're going to be able to sell that into every platform. Everything from pay, free, digital, terrestrial television, video on demand, mobile, all rights, we're going to be able to monetize that. When we produce our reality show, something like Fashion Star, to sell that internationally, that's predominantly a television sale. So what's great about the international market, it's huge, it's wide open, and there are a lot of different platforms willing to acquire content.
Cesar Diaz, you're here from Vanavision International to talk about telenovelas at the Content Theater. Tell me what's hot in telenovelas.
What's not hot about telenovelas? These are the dramas, the tearjerkers, the rag to riches dramas that are seen not only in Latin America, but now we've seen all over Europe and Africa, even Asia.
All right, so what's the big benefit for your business in coming to NAB?
For us, as I said, it's a new year. They're putting together this content market where a few of us distributors, international distributors who have content for all these new, exciting and wild platforms that are coming out about, we're starting to bring this content market and make it, give it some critical mass so that we can bring in more distributors and just show that we have content available. We produce our own content, so we generate a lot of product for all these new platforms. And telenovelas are our forte, and it's a genre that's widely accepted all over the world now, so why not be here?
One of my favorite parts about the job is being able to connect with smart entertainment executives and to hear their perspective. Now, beyond the exhibit hall and the sessions, NAB is also about honoring standouts in the business. And at every NAB show, NAB presents awards honoring those who have distinguished themselves in this industry.
Well, the National Association of Broadcasting is a pretty major thing to be inducted into, and I cannot say thank you enough. When you're lucky enough to stay in the business as long as I've been lucky enough to do, to get this kind of an award at this point in your life is tremendous.
Well, you know, I mean, this is big time stuff here. You know, I never expected anything like this to happen. I've been doing radio, baseball radio, for 40 some years now, 43 years in Milwaukee.
really a great honor for me, and in my life, I will always remember it. Thank you.
Those weren't the only awards at NAB. This year, for the first time ever, NAB presented its ACE Awards for the best booths. And here we have former Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman presenting the awards. You can see he went for the typical low-key Vegas approach, just bringing along a few locals, that's all. And here we have the winners. The winner in the large category is the Harris Corporation. Harris is a fixture at NAB and a major supplier to virtually every broadcaster around the world. The company has software technology and services used by government and commercial markets. You'll also see Sennheiser here, the winner in the medium category. We saw this exhibitor earlier and got a close-up look at the latest audio equipment. This company is a leader in microphone technology and other audio solutions used by broadcasters and video producers around the world. And in the small category is Shenzhen Skyworth, a subsidiary of Skyworth Digital that makes digital set-top boxes. The company delivers more than 5 million units each year and is based in China, where it develops its state-of-the-art technology. And now I'm joined by Rob from Sennheiser.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much.
Here's the question I really want to know. How long does it take to set up a booth?
Well, for the guys that work at the company, it takes us about 6 hours, but we have a crew of dedicated employees that come out before that, that we contract, and they came out, I think, on Wednesday. Our booth is complicated, it's new, it's German, so it's sometimes you find little intricacies like metric instead of standard that take a little time to make adjustments with. But the crew did a fantastic job. The booth looks beautiful, and it really portrays the premium nature of Sennheiser that we look for.
Tell us a little bit about what's new at the booth.
Well, new at the booth is the booth. That is one of the features. But also we have some new products. A product that is a joint effort between Neumann, who's our sister company, and Sennheiser. It's the Neumann KK204 or KK205. It's a capsule we use exclusively with our 2000 series wireless. It really brings a premium capsule, a premium sound to the stage at a more affordable price point. So it's the stuff you see on Dancing with the Stars and American Idol, but at a more accessible price point for broadcasters, houses of worship, anybody who's looking for that premium sound.
All right, for anybody at the show, you need to go check out the Sennheiser booth. And now we are going to go to the Pulse Network with an interview with the creators from AMC's hit show, The Walking Dead.
AMC's own Walking Dead is joining us right now. We welcome in Gail Ann Hurd, we welcome in Dave Albert, Glenn Mazzara, and Robert Kirkman. The community itself is excellent, but the community is great for the mere fact that that interaction is there. We're seeing it, we're seeing the tweets, we're seeing that second screen application. Kind of talk to that a little bit more if you guys could. Just exactly the interaction during the show, because it's a show within a show almost on the second screen applications and so on and so forth.
Going into the first season, we really thought that we would see giant spikes in social media if we were successful after episodes were airing. And so what we actually started seeing was that people were engaging on Facebook and Twitter and email during the show itself. And the engagement that was happening during the show was something that was really unpredicted by us and something we didn't see coming. So when we came into the second season, the idea was, let's find a way to sort of engage those fans. You have the fans get their opinions and expressions out there, but in a way that sort of seamlessly integrates with what the show itself is doing.
Robert has a universe of fans, and they were the first ones to congregate. But then we found that people who never expected themselves to be watching a zombie show connected with the characters, and they evangelized for us. They wanted to convince their friends, their families to watch the show.
I mean, the thing that I find interesting is when people start talking about, T-Dog in particular. I mean, he doesn't talk that much, yet people seem to have this, I used it before, that cult-like following with him. They start to love him.
The thing about our characters is that our audience can buy in that there's a zombie apocalypse. Everybody goes with that. They get it. And you can imagine, what would you do in this situation with you're trapped with your friends, your family, your neighbors, and you're just trying to figure out what's going on. And I think that people look at the show, they feel that they can put themselves into this situation, and they really connect with the characters. They really say, okay, that feels like a guy I know. That feels like somebody I would meet on the street, and I'm going to have to tie my life to that character. So I think it's really, the audience participates in this show. They don't just watch it passively. They get excited. They feel like they're there with our characters moving through this, landscape.
Let's say, Robert, could you expand on that just a little bit more? I'm anxious to get your thoughts on that as well.
Well, you know, it's great with television because you actually have the time to get to know these characters and spend more time with them and really learn to love them. And so the fans become much more engaged in the characters. You know, guys like T-Dog, as you mentioned, and, you know, Daryl Dixon is another huge fan favorite that we're always hearing about. And I feel like if we did entire episodes where they were in every single minute of the episode, we'd still hear more about, you know, hey, that guy needs to be in the show more. Like, what's going on? You know, we really want more of that guy. But I mean, the really cool thing about it is that we are able to get those messages. It's fun to have that kind of interaction with the fans, to be able to, you know what they think and know what they're after, and just that communication is really kind of a cool thing about modern television viewing.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Walking Dead is one of the hottest shows on TV right now, so it is great to hear from the show creators on how they're reaching viewers in new ways. And now we have Andrea Allen from Vimeo with some of her best show strategies, and also an interview with motion designer Andrew Kramer.
Okay, networking at NAB is really important and it's great, but sometimes you see someone that you just don't want to see. So I'm going to teach you how to hide in plain sight. All right, so we're here on the show. Oh no, my ex-boyfriend. I don't think he's seeing me. I don't think he's going to see me. Check out this interview I did with Andrew Kramer from videocopilot.net. CS6 just came out, so what features do you like about it?
I think the 3D camera tracking that's built in is really exciting because now you don't have to leave the program to integrate things into 3D space.
What cameras do you shoot on?
The Canon Mark II 5D, I have a 7D, and even the F3. Well, I think lenses is something that I'm a big fan of, like, you know, the Canon 85mm Prime is just, you know, such a beautiful lens. It's so cool that you can use Canon lenses, but like on the F3 it has an actual mount for film cinema cameras. So I only have a few of those, but to be able to rent some of the really high-end camera lenses and put them on your video is, you know, is an amazing thing.
Oh, David Copperfield. You're not the only one who's good at disappearing. So I'm at my first NAB party and I'm really excited. Come with me, let's check it out. What are you debuting at the show this year that you're really excited?
Ready for the list? Yeah. Okay, obviously Fusion, our new digital motion control system, which is a plethora of all kinds of bits and pieces. We have our lithium iron phosphate battery system that can power all of Las Vegas for 6 years. A lot of new stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Why do you throw parties like this?
To celebrate the creativity that has blessed our company. I mean, truly, everyone in here this is family to me. I mean, these are obviously customers and associates in the industry and things like that that's helped to build us to where we are. So this is our one opportunity a year to say thank you.
James Cameron.
I know how to do it. I know how to do it. I've been practicing. No, I've been waiting for this. Are you ready for it?
Well, that's it from me, you guys. What a great NAB 2012 it has been. But we did it, right? Oh, yeah, baby, we did it. We did it again. Yeah, we did. Did it again. They won't let me drink the beer because they're already closed, and I have to give it back.
And that's how you play possum. Let me tell you a little bit about what's ahead on Thursday, the final day at the 2012 NAB show. The Military and Government Summit continues in the morning, followed by a session on 3D TV. Then we'll have the best of the 48-hour film project and insight on post-production from those involved with Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and Criminal Minds. And finally, we will close out the show with YouTube's best comedy videos. It's always good to leave them laughing. Thank you to Ericsson for letting us set up here. Thank you for watching NAB Show Live. I've been coming to NAB for about 10 years now, and this is one of the best NABs that I've seen. Great speakers, cutting edge technology, and we are going to leave you with some of our best moments. am joined right now by Nick Woodman, CEO and founder of GoPro, Avid President and CEO Gary Greenfield, IBM Steve Canepa, who is the GM for Global Media and Entertainment.
Oh, AVP with the totem pole tower effect with the rotating cube on top. Booth rating 5.
I can be in your pocket. Doesn't cost extra. Oh wait, maybe it does.
If you stay in the middle of the road, you're going to get run over.
You want to punch the camera out with me?
I don't hit nobody for free.
He's Talking Hub, with a gun. Christie has really outdone themselves with the use of these stunning animatronics. They're so lifelike. My booth rating, 5, because they're really pretty.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Hi, Ko Mariyama. We're taking a quick look. Let me try this again. Here at the far end of the, so in between. Think one of those is usable?
I'm Doug Scott, and the interview that I just gave is yours to use worldwide in perpetuity.
Love it, love it, love it.
It's day one. See, I'm not doing it again. Son of a bitch.
What are we called? Are we a team? Everything you need for the production. Day one. I do need a drink.